So we've been testing out GROK 4.5 versus Opus 4.8, and I want to show you what we've seen today and how it performs, and whether GROK 4.5 actually beats CLAUDE Opus 4.8. I've actually been very impressed by GROK 4.5 so far. It's performing very well. It's created some really interesting things. So let's see how it performs side by side. We've actually got the compare section over here. We can compare both of them. We've tested 48 different models side by side and tasks. So let's see how they perform. We got GROK 4.5 on the left hand side, Opus 4.8 on the right hand side. On the benchmarks, it actually looks like GROK 4.5 is on a similar level. But what does it look like in reality? Because I don't like to pay too much attention to benchmarks. I think we've all been in a situation where things don't feel or look the same as the benchmarks that we see, and that's why I actually created Goldie Bench. So first thing that we're going to test is the Crypt game. So this is GROK 4.5, as you can see. Pretty nice, easy to play, nice graphics, 3D, works smoothly, gameplay is good, and it's created like this kind of maze game, as you can see. That's fun and interesting to play, right? Now, if we actually have a look at the version from Opus 4.8, it didn't generate. It totally failed at the task. You created the entry page here, but nothing else. So far, GROK 4.8 won. GROK 4.5, sorry. It gets confusing between the numbers, to be honest with you. Next up, we have Dragon Realm. So I'm going to play these side by side. This is GROK 4.5. Not too bad, pretty smooth to play. Looks quite nice. And then let's compare this versus Opus 4.8. Now, one of the things that I've noticed straight away with Opus 4.8 is that the controls are kind of reversed. But I would actually say like the 3D landscape is probably better with Opus 4.8. So I'm going to put that as a tie because the controls are easier with GROK 4.5, but Opus 4.8 wins on the gameplay. So it's a tie on that one. So far, GROK 4.5 is 1-1 and CLAUDE hasn't won any. Next up, we have the racing game. So this is GROK 4.5 and this is Opus 4.8. Opus 4.8 totally failed on the racing game. So you can see it's like super buggy. Let's compare it versus GROK 4.5. Pretty nice, smooth, fun to play, difficult to play, but it's actually like a playable and useful game. You know, the graphics are even nice as well. So that's pretty cool. So 2 to Opus 4.5, 2 to GROK 4.5, and 0 to Opus 4.8. Let's compare the next one, which is the Skyrim style game. So I think we're going to have to go full screen to play this properly. There we go. It's smooth, it's fun. The graphics are a little bit basic, but overall it's pretty smooth and fun to play. Actually playable, actually useful. Very open world, like it seems like a massive game when you actually walk around in it. Now if we compare that to Opus 4.8, I would say the graphics have more detail, just on a slightly better level, but there's nothing really going on here, right? There's no, for example, enemies, there's no characters, it's just you, first person, walking around. So there's not that much interesting stuff going on. So yeah, I would say the GROK 4.5 won. And by the way, like, don't listen to me, don't trust anyone else, just test this stuff out yourself. And if you want to see what I've built, you can check out Goldie Bench. But I always think it's better to check this stuff out yourself. See what you think, go from there. Now, this is Twilight Vale with GROK 4.5. Camera angle is a little bit hard to control. It does feel like a little bit small, but maybe that's just because we need to walk around more. Let's compare that versus Opus 4.8. Opus 4.8 doesn't get past the beginner's page here. So you can see we're clicking to begin, but it doesn't work. So 4 to GROK 4.5 and 0 to Opus 4.8. Now, let's have a look at Voxel Craft. So this is kind of like a Minecraft style game. So you can see we can walk around, we can build stuff. It actually has the functionality to build, as you can see right here. And then we can select the blocks that we want as well. So we can switch between them, which is nice and useful too. I think it's a little bit buggy over here. Oh, we got all these crazy characters running after us now. Difficult. All right. That was pretty nice. Let's have a look at Opus 4.8. Pretty bad. This is super basic. So 5 to GROK 4.5 and 0 to Opus 4.8 so far. Now we've got this one here as well, which is like a virtual runner. It doesn't work on Opus 4.8, so you can see here, and it doesn't work really on GROK 4.5. I wouldn't say either of them actually created anything decent here. This is super laggy and buggy and you just can't play it. This one you can't play at all either. So I would say they drew on that one too. Then we have the driving game. So this is GROK 4.5. It's a bit buggy in places. For example, like we can't drive through there sometimes. And then there's not much detail. And you see how it's just buggy? It's like driving into nothing. Whereas, for example, if we look at the Opus 4.8 version here, it's pretty nice. It's a little bit laggy in gameplay, but overall pretty nice. So I would say that Claude won that one. Then we have the edited video, right? So this is the video generated using Remotion, and this is Opus 4.8 versus GROK 4.5. I would say Opus 4.8 won by a long way here. It just looks nicer, it's smoother, it's more interesting, it's faster, it keeps your attention more, and the colors look nicer too. So if I had to pick between them, I'm going to go with this one. Then we have the parachute game. So this is GROK 4.5. Opus 4.8 didn't work at all on this one, as you can see. GROK 4.5 works a little bit. I don't really like the detail. I wouldn't play this at all, but if you want to use it, you can. And you can see like it actually does count down the altitude and everything else, which is pretty nice. Next up, we have the flight simulator. Now, this one I actually found really difficult to play. Like, you see how it's just a bit buggy? You can't really move forward or backwards right here. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Let's have a look at the Opus 4.8 version. I would say that's a lot nicer. Yeah, a lot more interesting, cool colors, bit buggy in places, but at least you can actually play it and do something interesting with it. So it looks like Claude is making a comeback here. One thing that I did actually personally test as well is using GROK 4.5 inside Hermes Agent. If you're using it directly in the chat, it is very, very slow from what I saw. It can take like 10 seconds just to reply on a basic chat message. And then it doesn't feel very agentic, is what I'm saying. So I probably wouldn't use it with Hermes unless you're, for example, using it for generating video or images and that sort of thing. Then Hermes is pretty useful with it. So we have Opus 4.8 with the Neon arcade game over here. And then we have over here GROK 4.5, which is like a 3D fun game to use. Looks super nice, nice UI, etc. More interesting. I would say again, GROK won that round. So it's currently 7-3. GROK is crushing it so far. Let's see what we get next. So we've got another flying game. It's pretty nice. I'm not really sure how to use this or play this properly, to be honest with you. It's not very obvious to me. But actually, no, you kind of get the hang of it. It's all right. Not bad at all. Let's have a look at the version from Opus 4.8. See, like, there's not much going on here in terms of Opus 4.8. Like, there's no characters. There's nothing going on. There's nothing flying towards me. This one has a lot more interesting, entertaining elements. Then we have Dragon Flight. It's super hard to control this. I don't really know what it's supposed to be doing. It's just like flying back and forth, which is a bit confusing. If we have a look at the Opus 4.8 one, I would say it's a lot more linear, but it actually works and it's kind of interesting. More fun to play. Yeah, I would say Opus 4.8 won that one. So it's now 4-8. This one for sure, like GROK 4.5 just generates 3D things by default. If we compare that versus Opus 4.8, nowhere near the same, right? Nowhere near as interesting. So this is some other stuff it's created. Let's have a look what we got next. Next up, we have Outrun. So this is GROK 4.5. Again, really cool, really fun to use. This is Opus 4.8. Pretty buggy, not that great. And then we have the pool game. The angle of this is really weird. This game, if you look, and it's pretty hard to play that. Let's have a look at the version from Opus 4.8. It's a bit more 2D, but it's easier to use, easier to control. So I'm going to go with Opus 4.8 for that. Then we have this maze style game. Pretty cool on GROK build. GROK 4.5. Looks pretty nice. Yeah, actually works. Fun 3D game. Looks cool. Let's try out now Opus 4.8. It's not bad, but you can't control it in the same way. The camera angle is really difficult to control as well. So, I mean, overall, on the actual builds that we've tested, I would go with GROK 4.5. However, what I will say here is just in general, when I've tested them both out, like if I was, for example, building out an agent operating system, I would still go with Claude Opus 4.8. And maybe that's just me being biased, or maybe that's my brain trained to using something like Claude. But I honestly prefer to use Claude for building stuff like this out. So actually for building systems, for building workflows, for work-related stuff, then I would go with Claude Opus 4.8. For agentic stuff, you don't really get a choice because, for example, if you're using Hermes Agent, you can't plug OAuth with Claude anymore into Hermes Agent. And then when it comes to like building out fun projects like we were talking about before, the games that we created, GROK 4.5 is very, very good, like holds its own. So what I'd recommend for you is that you test it out. I probably wouldn't use GROK 4.5 for agentic stuff unless you're using the images and videos. And when it comes to Claude, Claude is still really powerful for using inside Claude Desktop and building stuff. So everything that you're seeing inside the Agent OS, we built with Claude, and it's a really powerful system that we literally built from zero. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get a full Agent OS with GROK and all the Claude systems that we've put in there, for example, like the video agent, the SEO agent, the GROK 4.5 Hermes Oracle system that we've got inside here, you can get it all inside the AI Profitable. Link in the comments description, or just go to the AIProfitable.com. Inside the community, you can ask questions, get help and support in real time. I personally answer all the questions inside there. Inside the calendar, you can jump on weekly coaching calls and share your screen, meet other members. Inside the classroom, you can get access to all of our best trainings, and you can get the new daily updates with the Agent OS system. You see when it was last updated, the video tutorial and a full step-by-step guide, and a zip file to install it. And then we have new daily tutorials like you can see right here, based on what's actually working. Inside the map, you can meet people in your local area who are building with AI agents like you. You can get that all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or just go to the AIProfitable.com.